When it comes to decorating and furnishing a small dining room on a budget, it can be a challenge to create a space that is both functional and stylish. However, with some creative thinking and smart design choices, it is possible to transform even the smallest dining room into a beautiful and inviting space that you and your guests will love. In this videos, we will explore some ideas and tips for making the most of your small dining room on a budget. Choose a compact dining set. One of the biggest challenges of designing a small dining room is finding furniture that fits the space without overwhelming it. When selecting a dining set for a small room, look for pieces that are compact and streamlined with minimal ornamentation or bulky details. A round or oval table can be a great choice for a small dining room, as it takes up less visual space than a rectangular table and allows for easier movement around the room. Look for tables with a pedestal base or slim legs to maximize the amount of available floor space. When it comes to chairs, opt for designs with slim profiles and minimal upholstery. Avoid chairs with arms, as they can take up valuable space and make it harder to move around the table. Consider using benches or stools instead of traditional chairs to save even more space. Maximize vertical space. In a small dining room, it's important to make use of every available inch of space, including vertical space. One way to do this is by installing shelves or a hutch above the dining table to provide additional storage and display space. You can use shelves to store dishes, glassware, and other dining essentials, or to display decorative items like plants, candles, or artwork. A hutch can provide even more storage space, with cabinets and drawers for hiding away clutter. Another way to maximize vertical space is by hanging a chandelier or pendant light above the dining table. This not only provides essential illumination for dining and socializing, but it also draws the eye upward and creates a sense of height in the room. Use mirrors to create the illusion of space. Mirrors are a classic design trick for making a small space feel larger and more open. When used in a dining room, mirrors can reflect light and create the illusion of additional space, making the room feel brighter and more expansive. One way to incorporate mirrors into your dining room design is by hanging a large mirror on one wall. This will reflect the opposite wall and create the illusion of a larger room. You can also use a mirrored cabinet or hutch to provide both storage and reflection. Another option is to use a mirrored dining table or chairs. These pieces can add a touch of glamour to the room while also helping to bounce light around the space. Keep the color palette light and bright. When it comes to color in a small dining room, it's generally best to keep things light and bright. Dark colors can make a small space feel even smaller and more cramped, while light colors can help to open up the room and make it feel more spacious. Consider using a neutral color palette with shades of white, beige, or gray as the base. You can then add pops of color through accessories like curtains, tablecloths, or artwork. Bright, bold colors can help to add visual interest and personality to the room without overwhelming the space. If you do want to use a darker color in your dining room, consider using it on an accent wall or in small doses through accessories like throw pillows or a rug. This can help to add depth and dimension to the room without making it feel too heavy or closed in. Invest in multifunctional furniture. When space is at a premium, it's important to choose furniture that can serve multiple purposes. This is especially true in a small dining room, where every piece of furniture needs to earn its keep. One example of a multifunctional piece of furniture is a dining table with built-in storage. Look for tables with drawers or shelves underneath the tabletop, which can be used to store everything from linens to serving pieces. Another option is to use a fold-down table that can be stored against the wall when not in use. This can be a great choice for a small apartment or a dining room that doubles as a home office or playroom. You can also look for chairs that can be used for multiple purposes, such as chairs with built-in storage or chairs that can be stacked or nested when not in use. Use lighting to create ambience. Lighting is an important aspect of any dining room design, but it's especially important in a small space. The right lighting can help to create a warm and inviting atmosphere, while also providing essential illumination for dining and socializing. One way to create ambience in a small dining room is by using a mix of lighting sources. Consider installing a dimmer switch on your overhead lighting so that you can adjust the brightness depending on the time of day or the occasion. You can also use table lamps or floor lamps to provide additional lighting and create a cozy, intimate atmosphere. Look for lamps with adjustable arms or shades so that you can direct the light where you need it most. Don't forget about natural light. If your dining room has windows, make sure to keep them unobstructed and use sheer curtains or blinds to allow in as much natural light as possible. Add texture and pattern. Texture and pattern are important design elements that can help to add visual interest and depth to a small dining room. By incorporating a mix of textures and patterns, you can create a space that feels dynamic and inviting. One way to add texture to your dining room is through the use of natural materials like wood, stone, or woven fibers. Look for a dining table with a rustic wood finish or a rug with a chunky weave to add warmth and character to the space. You can also add texture through the use of textiles like curtains, tablecloths, and throw pillows. Look for fabrics with interesting weaves or embroideries to add visual interest and depth. When it comes to pattern, a little goes a long way in a small dining room. Consider using a patterned rug or curtains to add a pop of visual interest, but keep the rest of the room relatively simple to avoid overwhelming the space. Every room needs a focal point, and a small dining room is no exception. A focal point is an area or object that draws the eye and helps to anchor the space, creating a sense of balance and harmony. In a dining room, the natural focal point is often the dining table itself. However, you can also create a focal point through the use of artwork, a statement light fixture, or a bold piece of furniture. When choosing a focal point for your small dining room, consider the overall style and color scheme of the space. Look for a piece that complements the existing decor and helps to tie the room together visually. Use wall space wisely. In a small dining room, every inch of wall space is precious. By using your walls wisely, you can create additional storage and display space without taking up valuable floor space. One way to use wall space in a dining room is by installing floating shelves. These shelves can be used to display everything from dishes and glassware to plants and artwork, and they help to keep the floor space clear and uncluttered. Another option is to use a pegboard or a magnetic knife strip to store and display kitchen tools and utensils. This can be a great way to keep essential items close at hand while also adding a decorative touch to the room. Don't forget about the power of vertical space. Installing a pot rack or a hanging basket can be a great way to store and display pots, pans, and other kitchen essentials, while also adding visual interest to the room. Embrace minimalism. When it comes to decorating a small dining room on a budget, less is often more. By embracing a minimalist aesthetic, you can create a space that feels open, airy, and uncluttered, even in the smallest of rooms. To achieve a minimalist look in your dining room, start by decluttering and simplifying your decor. Remove any unnecessary items or pieces of furniture and focus on creating a clean, streamlined space. Choose a simple color palette with 1 or 2 main colors and a few accent shades. And stick to clean lines and simple shapes in your furniture and decor. Finally, don't be afraid to leave some empty space in your dining room. Negative space can be just as important as filled space in creating a sense of balance and harmony in a room. Decorating a small dining room on a budget can be a challenge, but it's not impossible. By choosing compact and multifunctional furniture, maximizing vertical space, using mirrors and light colors, investing in multifunctional pieces, using lighting to create ambience, adding texture and pattern, creating a focal point, using wall space wisely, and embracing minimalism, you can create a beautiful and inviting dining space that meets all of your needs and reflects your personal style. Remember, the key to creating a successful small dining room on a budget is to be creative, resourceful, and willing to think outside the box. With a little imagination and some smart design choices, you can transform even the smallest dining room into a space that you and your guests will love.